fry him crisp or you boil him right, he'll be sweeter than sugar with every bite. Crawfish.
So today we're going to learn about pan searing, whether it's pan roasting or pan searing. Today we have a little bit of Alaskan steelhead here that we're going to season just a little bit with salt and pepper, a little bit of canola oil. But we're going to talk a little bit about different pans. Here in the restaurant kitchen, we use what we call blue steel pans. They might look a little bit old. They're actually, only a year old or so. They rust very easily, so we want to make sure that they are a cast or non-stainless steel. They're carbon steel, so we actually every time we wash them, we put a little bit of oil on them. They're very thin. They get hot very fast. But they're very easy to cook with here in the restaurant, so that's what we use when it comes to sauteing in the restaurant. Just like the grill, we want to season the fish with just a little bit of the herb oil here. Just a little bit of herb oil on either side, a little bit of salt and pepper. And we always make sure that we season from a distance here. And what happens is that salt and pepper actually spreads out evenly. If you try to put the salt in your fingers and season right over the fish, it's only going to fall where your fingers there are rubbing. When you put it up here from a height, it actually displaces itself around the fish, so you actually get an even disbursement of the seasoning of salt and pepper. So when it comes to pan searing something, there's two things you want to make sure that you're aware of. Number one, it's over high heat. Turn the flames on high. If you have an electric stove at home, you're going to want to turn it on high heat. Secondly is the oil in the pan. You can see how it's lightly smoking there? What happens is that oil is starting to shimmer in the pan. It looks like the heat waves on a hot highway down on the summer. You want to make sure that oil is shimmering. That tells you that it's hot to sear, whether it's chicken, pork, beef, or salmon. You got the pan hot enough to sear the product. Once you get it on the stove, you want to turn it down just a little bit. Now we put it over, that was high. Now we're down to about medium high or so. You want to let it sear so it's nice and golden brown on one side. Now if you're with steelhead, it's nice and thin. It's going to cook just in the pan. If you're looking at sockeye salmon, king salmon, or silver salmon, it's going to take longer to cook. So what you're going to want to do is sear it golden brown on one side. You're going to flip it over and either put it in the oven or somewhere where it's nice and warm where it can sit there and continue to cook. You don't want to do it just on top of the stove because the temperature, the heat of the flames is actually going to overcook the protein. Got it nice and golden brown on one side. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put it up here in our cheese melter, which is kind of like an oven at your house, but it doesn't have a door on it. We're going to put it up there for about 2 minutes or so and let it rest. Alright, so now that we've finished it actually here in our salamander, there's a couple of things. Number one, you can actually use a thermometer if you want. We actually just like to touch the product. If it feels like it's starting to get it firm, kind of like the palm of your hands, it's telling me that the protein is actually cooked in the center. You'll actually, at some point in time, start to see the white albumin come to the outside. You can see how it's starting to get just barely white right there. That's telling me that the protein is starting to cook in the center, which means that we're nice and medium rare to medium. We don't want to see it completely white. We want to see just a little bit of white there on the outside. So now that we've got that done, we can put it right over the top of our Caesar salad again here. And you get a nice little seared steelhead Caesar for the summertime. Whether it's on top of Caesar salad or mashed potatoes and vegetables, get a nice little light summer dish ready for June.
If you fry him crisp or you boil him right, he'll be sweeter than sugar with every bite.